Here at Push HQ doing a little shooting for you. Broadhead aiming. So that's aiming with the broadhead. What's up, guys? Here at Push HQ doing a little shooting for you. Broadhead aiming. Seasons are opening up all over the country. I thought now's a really good time to do a video and actually show you what I see when I'm aiming using the vertically oriented broadhead in my sight picture. So whether the deer is standing at 8, 10, 12, or 15 yards, my sight picture looks like this, or something similar to this, where the very tip of my broadhead blade is floating right below the chest line, like there's a little air gap there. It's pretty instinctive. I kind of just set it. Obviously there is a difference between 8 yards and 15 yards, but I just draw back, yep, give it a gut check, that looks good, move on with my shot. Through there. Micro collapse there on that one. Hit right side of that hole. Let's put this one right through there. Just like that. Step back to 20. Let's go to 20. All right. 20 yards, this is when the broadhead actually gets on the deer target. Sorry, it's an extremely sunny day, so I apologize for the sun flare you guys are seeing right now. It's pretty awful. But this is what my sight picture looks like at 20. So it's essentially the very tip of the broadhead blade is 2 inches up from the chest line, so it's right at the roughly about the bottom of the 10 ring, or aim at the heart, and it'll hit impact an inch, inch and a half, 2 inches above that. Right through there. Also through there. Got to be really careful. My nock slightly rotated on that last arrow. When I got the full draw, my broadhead was actually at an angle. So I recognized that I can sight down that arrow, and I was putting the broadhead blade where it needed to go, and I could see my arrow was slightly pointed to the right. I would actually hit back a lungs. So I had to move the tip of the broadhead left of where I wanted it to impact. So I was sighting down that arrow. So just be mindful that nock orientation, if your nocks kind of spin on you a little bit, got to make sure that that broadhead is perfectly vertical in your sight picture. That also takes into account if you're canting the bow. So if you're canting the bow consistently every time, you're going to want that broadhead blade vertical in that sight picture. All right, that's great. All right, let's step back to 25. Oh, almost made it through there. Close, close. All right, again, sorry for the sun. It's pretty harsh. We're standing at about 25. Roughly right here, maybe a step back. This is where in the past I would have a good tune with my setup to where the very tip of the broadhead was 20, mid blade I'd just raise it up to where the mid blade was where I wanted it to impact, and that would hit there, and then the base of the blade was 30. With this tune specifically and these weight arrows and everything, what it's turned out to be. It's easier for me to reference the very tip of the broadhead still, even at 25, and I'm just putting it at the top of the lungs, like 2 inches down from the back line. It looks like this. Looks a little low, touch low. Right through there, baby. All right, let's step back to 30 for my last arrow. Get in the shade of the adventure van here a little bit. Okay, that's good. So we're roughly at about 30 yards here. This is where I start referencing the base of the blade. So the base of the blade is basically a 30-yard point on, or the end of the carbon is roughly about 30 yards. Again, I don't shoot deer this far. The only time I would really use this is if I put a bad shot on it, on a deer, and it's standing at 30. At least I know my system. All right, not too bad right there. Okay, guys, so that's aiming with the broadhead. Orient it vertical. So key takeaways here on this video: orient it vertical. Even if you have a cant, you're going to want to then offset your broadhead to be vertical in your sight picture every single time. Find where the tip of the broadhead equals your point on distance. Find where your mid blade means. Find where the base of the blade means, and you have a really repeatable system for shooting whitetails. And the real benefit of this is when you're in a tree stand, this is what it looks like from a tree stand. Anything 8 yards to 18 yards, you're just taking the very tip of the broadhead blade, making a little air gap below the chest cavity, and let it eat, baby. Okay, guys, good luck out there. Be safe. Get primal. What you think of that? Not too shabby. Get primal again.